Hey, Geekscapists who are watching, we've got another big news thing to talk about because the Daredevil Born Again trailer dropped. I'm joined today by Katie Hampton, host of Napping Through Happy Hour and the Christian Cringe podcast, and a regular collaborator on the Marvel Movie Talk podcast here at Geekscape. So I have only seen the first season of Daredevil so far.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't
Okay.
watch I didn't watch it when it dropped on Netflix, but I watched this trailer. I obviously kind of like watched it through my fingers to try to avoid too many spoilies. Um, but the one thing that jumped out at me is it seems like they have not dialed back on the graphic violence that we found in the Netflix show. So I'm
No, and
very excited about that.
I'm very impressed, especially with this first trailer, like not even like teaser style, but they've gone full out. Like this is, I would say, a red band trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some broken bones and stuff for sure.
With blood coming through like the seams of like the shirt. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited, but you have seen, you've definitely seen all of Daredevil. I'm pretty sure you've seen most, if not all, of the Netflix stuff. Does this feel like Disney Plus and Marvel are keeping in the same tone of that whole Defenders universe that they were building over at Netflix?
You know, it does feel like they're headed that way. I'm curious. Like this definitely felt like the trailer for those of us that have been kind of like, are we gonna do the actual action or are we gonna kind of soften it a bit? It felt like it was a trailer for the friends of the Netflix show and like that kind of like more hardcore violence. I'm not sure yet. I feel like we've gotten a lot of really cool stuff, especially from Agatha all along. And we pushed some boundaries that I wasn't expecting on some other shows. So I think we're kind of going in the right direction here.
Disney Plus is getting shockingly edgy lately.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I've been watching the new season of Goosebumps, which was wild that they just kind of like dropped it in the middle of January with no advertising.
Yeah,
but like,
and David Schwimmer's in it. Didn't realize that.
Yeah, but like the episode I just watched literally ended with David Schwimmer's decapitated head laying on the ground talking to his teenagers. So it's like, okay, we're going into some like crazy dark, like Disney Plus is really up in the like the TV 14 TVMA content a little bit, and it looks like Daredevil Born Again is going to be no different.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. I did think it was interesting that we kind of opened up on a fight, which is what everyone talks about with the first season, is that the hallway fight scene. It's what we love. I haven't done a whole bunch of deep dive research on like the stunt crews or like who's actually working on this and who they brought back versus just the actors. So I'm excited, to see Foggy again. I'm excited to see everybody. I'm curious, though, as to what direction exactly we're going, especially as we have this meeting between Fisk and Daredevil and throughout this entire thing. And this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a very interesting phase.
Mayor Fisk seems like a very pointed reference to modern times a little bit, which is undeniable. And,
it's also the story, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's also one of the reasons why he becomes like a main Spider-Man villain, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. Obviously, we're not going to sit here and do the, scene by scene deep dive or anything like that. But I mean, Friday Marvel Movie Talk does return to the Geekscape YouTube channel. I am sure Christian Blatt will dedicate plenty of time to deciphering hints and clues inside this trailer. But for you, was there anyone that showed up or anything that showed up that kind of caught you off guard? Or is everything kind of feeling like, all right, yeah, it's Daredevil Born Again, but it's also Daredevil Season 4.
Right. No, for the most part, I wasn't completely like, oh, wow. Mostly it was the action. The action was like, oh, cool. We're bringing that back. Great. Awesome. I guess the action is sort of like its own character in a weird way where I was like, you never really know how far they were going to go. And from this trailer alone, and especially if it's just a tease of what we've got coming up, clearly we're going to have a lot more violence than we were expecting. We'll see. I didn't see anybody that I was surprised by any stretch. Vincent D'Onofrio looking great. Good
Yeah.
for you, man. You've done really well over the last couple of years. Yeah. I haven't seen. I don't. I mean, I'll have to watch it again. I only watched it once.
Same.
But yeah. There wasn't anything that was too shocking to me other than the violence, which I was very happy with, which is a weird thing for me to say.
Hey, you know what? You get joy wherever it comes from, I guess, Katie. But that's it. We're doing a quick short one because this like dropped as we were recording an episode of Christian Cringe. We got off of recording and found out that the trailer had dropped. So stay tuned for more news here on Geekscape as different trailers and stuff drop throughout the year. Thanks, Katie, for joining me.
Thanks for having me on.